Haven't you seen it yet? Asked Mohammed, a boy older than me. It's the most beautiful stage in Gaza. It has a shiny wooden floor with fancy red chairs, and when the curtains open, the audience goes completely silent. The Saeed al-Mishal Cultural Centre in Gaza was built in 2004, and 1,500 people worked or volunteered there. It was a 5-story building which housed offices, a library, rehearsal and performance spaces for dance, music and theatre artists, a cafe and a recreation centre for children, and a home for art, culture and community in Gaza. The centre was destroyed by an Israeli military airstrike on August 9, 2018. From a laptop in a house outside Galway City in the west of Ireland, I Google images of the Saeed al-Mishal Centre in Gaza. The images are predominantly grey in colour. I see broken concrete and stone, dust and rubble. Yet amid these images of destruction, I also see bands performing. Children in an audience, an exhibition. I see a space on which once stood the largest cultural centre in Gaza, being used as a performance space for art, theatre and music, although there are but remnants of the physical building, which was home for many artists in Gaza. Two words stand out for me in these statements: memory, home, home, and memory. Two emotionally charged, complex concepts which are simultaneously abstract and concrete. To consider home can often involve a hyper-awareness of our surroundings, made all the more pertinent by the current global crisis of COVID-19. Yet, it can also involve the evocation of the past, sometimes into the present, worries for the future, a type of powerful sensory temporality drawing upon what is both absent and present, based on memories that may be individual or collective. Memory can be viewed as a potent creator of home, and home an equally potent creator of memory. The significance of memory in creating home, either mentally, physically, socially or politically, is reflected in the representation and experience of memory in both internal and external landscapes, through memorial events and sites, museums, festivals, parades, performances, dreams, imaginings, nostalgias and art. This geography of memory paves a way for an exploration of how we create the space and place of home. The performance space is a space where what Michael Rothberg describes as the multi-directional relationship of memory can be played out. This process becomes all the more significant when a place or space of home is lost or one becomes displaced. Due to extraordinary geopolitical contexts, the concept of home and memories of home are particularly loaded for the citizens of Gaza. As summarised by Elna Feldman, home in the sense of the personal space of house, village and of the national homeland has been exceedingly vulnerable in Palestinian experience. Considering home in Gaza under Feldman's idea of the vulnerability of home as a space and place leads to the notion of absence and how we may consciously or unconsciously seek memory when we feel a sense of loss or absence. Viewing memory as performative, as an active, creative process that requires work to make the experiences of the past present again, for example in the form of narratives, images, buildings, provides a way to understand the significance of performances such as those that occurred on the rubble of the Saeed al-Mishal Centre. These performances may be viewed as acts of reassurance and resistance. reassuring in terms of survival. The performers are still alive and will continue to carry out their practice, thus resisting death and the death of their art. And perhaps through this there is a resistance of an Israeli occupation in Gaza. The centre provided the space for memories to be embodied and played out in many different art forms, from traditional Palestinian dance to rock music. Reading the many comments online about the Al Mishal Centre following the bombing gives a sense of a building that was somewhat magic, perhaps because it provided a way to reimagine one's place and one's home, which is why its destruction was so deeply felt and resonated throughout the global artistic community. Over the past few months, I have been in contact online with Gaza theatre director Ali Abu Yassin. He expressed that the spirit of the centre lives on as the people are continuing to practice on the street or wherever they can, but their place of practice, their home, no longer exists. Many of the images in this presentation have come from connecting with artists in Gaza who present work on online platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. The significance of digital media and technology as a performance medium, particularly during this global health crisis, is beyond what can be explored here. However, it does point to ideas around the mobility of memory and the performance of memory, as opposed to the location of memory, which is hugely significant in Gaza as the physical mobility of people is so restricted. I argue that memory needs to be understood as both mobile and located. As memory scholar Susanna Radstone maintains, researching memory is always a deeply located practice, located in particular intellectual histories and addressing itself to specific pasts in the present. My ability to be mobile on the internet and reach out to theatre practitioners in Gaza is significantly rendered by what Radstone refers to as locatedness, that is, as a 36-year-old female theatre researcher and practitioner, mother of 2 children, born and raised and working in the west of Ireland. I have never been to Gaza. However, I have the privilege of being given a space in which I can explore as best as I can how the work of performers and artists in Gaza express, create and transform a multitude of ideas, thoughts and feelings around memory, home and belonging, which in turn will impact my own memories, thoughts, ideas and performance work around home.